Hi everyone, I'm Romy of English Rose Vintage, and today I'm going to be showing you a video of my pattern construction methods and making up of a pair of jeans from this pattern, which is Simplicity 8447. I hope you enjoy. So here's the pattern I'm going to be showing you today. It's Simplicity 8447. I'm going to be prepping the pattern ready to put it onto my fabric and start cutting in the sewing process. So I'm planning on making View A, which is the trouser pattern, and making it in this denim, which I've got here, just to make a kind of jeans version of the trousers. So the most important thing when you're looking at a modern pattern is to look at the sizing, specifically the bust, waist and hip measurements, which you'll find on the back. You can see that they're here just by my thumb. Often these sizes are a little bit different to what you would find on the high street. So if you were going out to buy some ready-made trousers on the high street, the sizing can be a little bit different. So don't just automatically cut out what you would think your sizing to be. Make sure you have a look at these. I would say I'm a modern 8 to 10. However, on this pattern, I'm going to need to grade between size 12 and size 16, purely because the waist measurement there, 26, I'm usually about a 26 or 27 inch waist, and my hips are a 40, so I'm going to need to grade between those two to get the right size for me. If I'd cut out just the size 12, then I would find that it would be too snug in the hips for me. So I'm going to do that now. I'm going to have a look through the pattern pieces and pick out which ones that I need to use for View A, and then I'm going to trace them and grade in between them. So I've got my first pattern piece laid out here. I've got two tools which I use. I've got just a simple clear ruler, and I've got this sort of pattern curved one which has got a hip curve on, it's got an armhole curve on, and it's got a straight edge and a right angle, which is useful for tracing most patterns. So I've laid out the pattern here directly underneath. I've found the size 12, which is going to be the one that I'm going to need for the waist measurement. So I'm going to trace around that originally. Unfortunately for this pattern, it doesn't go up to a size 16, so I'm going to need to just advance the pattern out a little bit, which is fine for me to do, but if you've got any difficulty in it, it might be worth buying the slightly bigger version of the pattern as well, so you can work between those two. So you can see there I've traced, you can just see the pattern coming through, and I've just lined this line up and the top line with the new bit underneath, which has got the size 14 in. And you can see here is the size 12, here is the size 14. So I'm going to need to extend to probably about here, just to make sure that that's got enough width in the hips so that I can get my butt into them basically. And I'm going to keep the waist measurement here, and then just extend that so it goes along a new line just running down here. So now that the pattern's all prepped, what I need to do is start pinning it onto the fabric. So you need to make sure that you are following the grain lines which come on the pattern. Make sure that you transfer all of these lines when you're cutting your pattern, and your dart lines and your notching lines as well, because it is important when you come to the construction of it. So I'm just going to start laying out the pattern pieces, pinning them on and then cutting them out. So that's all the prep for the pattern done. It's time to start sewing, which I will show you in a video tomorrow. Hope you've enjoyed today.